All right, y'all. We are live on Nexxlegacy Live. Myself, Demise. Um, we're here because, I feel like we need to talk about and review a lot of different things that's going on right now. So I appreciate all the people that will be or is filing in or will be listening to what we have going on. Make sure you hit the subscribe button,
All
put
right, yeah, but
yourself
we are
out there,
live on
and
Next Legacy Live.
and
My
I'm not gonna put the YouTube thing out there because I would then be doubling listening to what I'm talking about right now. So I appreciate all the people out there chilling, taking in what we're about to discuss. So again, hit the notification button, subscribe. Definitely appreciate all the people and the energy that y'all have given me over the last few months in regards to just not only subscribing but just tapping in and just being a wonderful community of people and things of that nature. So, Denai and I, we're here to, we're gonna lead it off and start talking about Jerry Epstein, who, so-called committed suicide and so-called has some uh discussions like to me I got to keep it true, like this man's gone, so but he left a very weird type of energy while I was here, and now that he's gone, so I feel like we need to discuss it, not just discuss it but just talk about the impact that I feel like this man has or has had in general. So again, dive in, talk about what you want to talk about, leave comments, create a nice little community type of vibe. And there's a lot behind the scenes when it comes to like his passing and the Epstein files and things like that, right? Like I feel like we should discuss it and talk about it and make sure that we are you know getting some thoughts out in regards to this stuff, right? So I feel personally it's a massive cover up. I feel like there's a lot of different things going on in regards to, the files they said it was, and then they said it's not, and then they being the DOJ and the FBI or the CIA or whoever else is, let's just keep it true. It's a lot going on where I feel like we need to literally tap in and discuss it. So I feel like at the end of the day, we have a problem when it comes to accountability, and they, meaning the government, is covering up the fact that he has files, and they are scapegoating it to the point where they just don't want us to talk about it anymore. But they need to not only discuss it, but they need to just keep it true. If they're hiding it, they're hiding it. There's so many different things. We have so many people talking about, like, what the hell is going on, but I mean, I'm just being honest about how I feel. It's a cover up, and it is not even funny. And not only that, like, there's a lot of people who have chimed in or have tapped into, some of the things that is being discussed or worked on right now. And I just want everybody to just be free about what it is that they feel,
what the hell
right?
is going
So,
on? But
I just think that we're at a loss when it comes to some of this stuff, and I just think that we should address it, not just address it, but we need to make sure that we're honest about how we feel about not just these files, but a lot of things that we'll be talking about today. So, Denai and I, Denai is on location. So if you hear anything when she speaks from the background, it's because she's out in traffic, at events as she normally does. But I'm gonna keep it true, and I'm gonna start with conversations that I know we want to have. So I'm gonna share, some thoughts that I feel like we need to put forth in regards to this. So, you know, from Epstein file comments and conversations, I just want y'all to hear from other people too.
I was accused falsely on the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed, and they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong.
Deny, just go ahead and say something because I know you want to say something, not to listen.
That's Epstein's lawyer, right?
Yeah. No, Alan Dershowitz, yes, has seen the real Epstein files. So let's just keep that true. He has seen the real Epstein files.
So the Epstein files exist.
Yeah. That's why he made a comment on what he made. He said he's seen it. He's seen it. He can't say anything about it or he can't divulge into stuff because the judge ordered what he ordered, but he has seen it. It's there. It's real. And if it's real, then that means that there is something going on that they are not willing to disclose.
It was like, what Epstein files? What that? What do you mean?
I swear, like at the end of the day, and I just need people to understand, like we're just not just having shows like this or talking about it or whatever. These are like government people, and they want the media to just shut the hell up. And they want people to just be like, nah, we don't see nothing there. It's not what you think. It's something else, and you have to look elsewhere. It's bullshit. We know it is. Do you want to hear what he said again? He said he's bound by it again. I don't mind putting this shit out there because it's real. Like, what are we doing, people? Like, let's just get facts and keep it the way it is. Let's keep it true, y'all. Like, for real, for real. Like, y'all need to stop playing and really recognize what's solid. Like, for real.
I was accused falsely in the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed, and they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong.
Missing from the video. We released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old from like 1999. So every night the video is reset and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's.
I don't think she practiced that well. I think they didn't rehearse that properly because she said a year, then a night, and then so every night there's a minute that's missing. Yeah, I don't think she
Make it
practiced
make it make it make
very
sense.
well.
Make it make sense. I mean, we just heard from her and I mean, she doesn't even sound confident talking about what she's confident about.
She was stuttering Stanley up there. Like, I'm not understanding because, like I
There's
said,
no confidence in what she was talking about.
she knows it's bullshit because she had the freaking things on her desk and she get. But what about the influencers, right? That they gave those files to, or those papers.
Yeah. There's no
They had a
confidence.
whole, geez, they had a whole like celebration. These all these influencers that supposedly got these folders full of some kind of paperwork, and they're like, "Yep, we got the files, we got the numbers, we got the flight logs, whatever."
There's none. There's none.
Here's even better. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail then if there's no files?
Come on, there's none. Listen, we're not naive people in America, and literally, I'm taking shots at government officials because these are the ones who are colluding with what's going on. Like I said, to me, I think it needs to be discussed and addressed and everything else that comes with it. I don't like the temperature of where this is going because it's not even for journalistic purposes, y'all. This is really Like there's a lot of people that was affected by Jerry Epstein. A lot of people who literally and truly um is affected in so many different ways by it negatively. Like negative effects on some of these people. I'm telling you, it's not a good look at all. And I just think that, we're missing a lot of his victims. We're missing a lot of people who want justice. We're missing. Like to me, I think it's tragic that we're here discussing something that should be like, if you want to keep it a buck, keep it a buck and just be like, look, we got his files. He has a list, but we just can't disclose it because it's blah 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 blah. That doesn't justify nothing. But to me, it's just like, at this point, they want to keep these billions of dollars rolling in different industries and politics and in entertainment and everything else that comes in. They don't want to affect the possible thing that's going on when it comes to maybe there might be some things going on with the current president as far as his dirty past that needs to come out there. Let's just keep that way real as well. It's a lot of shit going on that I feel like a lot of people don't get or understand. And to me, it's tragic, y'all. It is tragic. We are here. We are here talking about it, and it doesn't. To me, it's just wild. It doesn't make any sense to me. But uh, here we are. Here we are discussing it. And here we are at a point right now where um people are trying to eliminate this because, they just feel like it's, oh my God, you shouldn't talk about that anymore. It is what it is, or something like that. Get the fuck out of here. Like, go. Like this isn't even where we need to be at right now. Like, come on, let's just be real with the whole thing. Like, stop.
I don't want to talk about it because it's an inconvenience to them.
Very much so. Inconvenience and it will disrupt lives if you want to keep it real. Like, I mean, if you want to keep it way true, it will tear the industry apart. It will tear politics and the money that's coming through there forever. It will disrupt everything that you see and hold near and dear when it comes to your train of thought right now. That's why I need y'all out there to think differently though. These people are clearly hiding something. Clearly.
Oh, absolutely. And the biggest thing about it is because they're not even mentioning Prince Andrew anymore, because and there's clear evidence of him being a part of this situation.
Yes. And it's wild that we're here discussing this because I honestly believe we'll probably never see these Epstein files, or people will never know who's all in there. And people will never know what and where we got to when it comes to shit like that. To me, I think it's just tragic that we're here talking about it. But at the same time, I am a firm believer of getting the truth out. Now, Alan Dershowitz said what he said, and he's standing on business, just like a lot of people who believe bullshit will stand on business as well. But I think he was true back then when he said that. And let's just keep it true about Cash Patel, the FBI guy, as well. Let's keep it way real with him. He threw stuff out there during the course of his initiation as far as his congressional hearing so he can become FBI director. He mentioned something about Epstein and the fact that that needed to be there should be justice, stuff like that. There's so many receipts out there, y'all, that y'all could legit go back to in life to see that. Oh yeah, he did say that. Oh yeah, she did say that. Oh yeah, there is a 1 or 2 minute clip of Trump and Epstein just laughing, looking at women, basically just, like men in heat, looking to see who they want to take home or take down or whatever the hell. Like it's there. You got to go see it now. That's, I mean, men do that because we all do that shit. Just keep it true. But, 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 it's Epstein. Just saying. It's Epstein. Y'all need to figure that shit out. Like to me, it's just ridiculous that we're here.
But we're only here because he got in office again. So there's that.
Yeah. I mean, but maybe we would have been here even if he wasn't in office, which I would have loved to have seen him not be in office. But I'm just saying in general, like I just think that overall, um, it's amazing that we're trying to at least throw shade at a situation, not shade, we're trying to add light to a situation where I feel like at the end of the day, it's ridiculous to even like police or whatever the hell because we shouldn't have to be where we are right now talking about this stuff. Like it's crazy that we're here.
right?
But
But the thing is that now MAGA sees that something's wrong. Wish I could have seen that before November 5th, but now they're seeing that we've been telling the truth and something's wrong with the current administration.
clearly, but we knew that from we knew that from the inauguration as a problem. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm looking at it like this, and I don't care what side of the spectrum you are or have voted on. Don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. Don't care. It's really about at the end of the day, you're representing a country where you would want the other person to succeed as well. And if you start damaging people's credibility or relationships or not upholding justice, then we have a problem. Like if you're concealing or colluding to conceal or whatever it is that you're doing in order for you to hear no evil, see no evil, and things like that, we have a problem as well. That's not part of justice. You want justice done when it's done to you, but if it's done to someone else, you have a problem. Or you want to hide it because it's gonna fuck up your pockets at the end of the day or your credibility or your style or lifestyle of living is in jeopardy because if you was to reveal the truth then the truth would literally cost people a lot of money in the millions or billions and people die for that. Like I still believe that Jerry Epstein did not, well, let me stop because I just want to make sure that I say this before I
Jeffrey Epstein says because I don't trying to have no poor man named Jerry.
Right. So I just feel like there's a question in regards to his untimely demise. I think I can say that. Like I just feel like something is wrong. Something happened to him during that span, which is the reason why we brought up she had oh there's a minute missing or whatever. But okay, so guards were asleep. It was it was easily there's so many holes to pick. You can literally choose which one, which I really and truly think it's weird to me. So, here we are in this situation that we're in. And to
But
me, I don't think
but
it's
here's the interesting part: is like they were saying that previous to that situation, he was speaking about unaliving himself. So why wasn't he on the unaliving himself watch? Hmm.
I know.
Things that make you go.
For real. And it's facts though. It's not even laced with like, weird shit. It's just real. It's just to me again, in America and the world out there listening, I'm not saying this because I feel like, we're just talking. I just really and truly and honestly feel like these people are trying to quiet this. And they're trying to keep it to the point where people don't care. But when you really and truly think about it, people care because people's lives are affected by him living and him dying. So if we want to keep it real, keep it way real. If you want me to be honest, it's nothing to do with any political motivation as far as me or Denia. We're just trying to find truth in the matter of what we're talking about and things like that. And light a fire. We're pulling up receipts. We're not dummies at the end of it all. We're not stupid. We know what the hell is going on. We know why people do what they do for motivation or for gain, be it if it's power, political, money, whatever. It's the way that this crazy ass United States work in regards to this, and it needs to pause. Like we have a legit problem at the end of the day, and it needs to be addressed and dealt with. And that's how I feel. Like personally, when we get down to it, it is ridiculous that we're here trying to be able to find justice in a crazy corrupt world in a situation where we're at this point in time right now. And I just think it's wild that we're here to talk about it or discuss it or whatever you feel like you need to do at the end of the day. But something has to shift and change in order for this shit to happen. So, you know, Alan Dershowitz was real when he said what he said back in the day, and here we are with the problem that we're facing, and it's crazy that we're at this point in time in our lives right now. So we need to address it and deal with it, and stop playing with this, and just really and truly be real people out here trying to find real answers.
Exactly.
So before we shift on and talk about what's next, I just really and truly want people to just be honest about just how they feel. And if you don't like this comment right here, then I'm sorry too, because maybe the Epstein list disappeared the same time, the same place as the bullet wound on Trump's ear. Because I just really think that's fact, because we can go down a whole rabbit hole and a story about how he got popped. And coming from that distance with the rifle that was there, we all know that man should have no ear, or he should have like a reconstructed ear, or he should honestly like not be able to hear with that side of the ear. Like, let's keep that way true. Like, his ear would have been blown off, y'all. Let's just keep it real. But instead, he puts a diaper on his ear and he calls it a day. And this is where we're at, and he played it to perfection during the election. I'm not trying to use that as a rhyme or a rhyme scheme, but that is true. It is what it is. So you can figure out what you need to figure out when it comes to shit like this. But I'm just trying to keep it true for the real people out there that's trying to figure out what the hell is going on in regards to all of it. So I'm just trying to speak truth with this. So Denai and I wanted to also throw in the fact that the people out there living in Texas who is going through a horrific time right now. People have lost a lot of lives with this natural disaster that took place over the last week or so. People are still missing. People are still presumed missing and or dead. There's a lot going on, and they will get this station's undying prayer, support, love, anything that needs to happen, should happen, and things like that too. But as journalists, we also want to shed light into like a wild situation that we're here with. And to me, I think it's worth bringing up. Like, I just think at the end of the day, we need to not be, let's just say, we need to not be ignorant to the fact that some of these people in this state refused help. So if we're really going to keep it true, keep it way true with what the hell is going on in the world today and where we live. Like, and I told Deny this, and I'm gonna keep it real. Like, this is political racism at its best, in my opinion, and how we dictate that. And I'm just gonna keep it true with a comment, and Deny could chime in later, but I'm gonna keep it true with a comment that I said to her. And I don't mind saying it, and people can take it for what it's worth, but it's just like back in the day where, somebody of color had a means to save somebody that was not black, to save their lives or whatnot. And they refuse either a blood transfusion, or, they refuse bone marrow, or they refuse something that will prolong their life because it came from someone who uh, is not of their ethnicity or whatnot. You don't think that's the same in terms of giving the kind of help that was needed in Texas to, oh, because it was Biden, it was under Biden. I don't believe in what Biden stands for. So we're not going to take his money, or we're not going to do XYZ. Like, to me, that's weird to me, because to me, it's not about you and what you believe in. It's about putting aside that for the people that you work for, work with, in terms of that bigger picture. So you have to look at it for what it's worth, people. Like, if they really and truly had a means and an opportunity to fund some assistance in terms of help, then, they should have gotten that. But instead, they get this. Kerr County officials waited 90 minutes to send an emergency alert after requested dispatch the audio show. So that's receipts, in fact, right? So they waited a whole hour and a half or whatnot to be able to do that. So who's at the wheel of this and who's at fault, bigger picture. Like, and when I say at fault, I'm talking about people who did not organize to be able to help people in need. A lot of lives were lost. We know that. And oh, it's not the time to play the blame game because people are still missing. Absolutely. But you know what? Some of these people could still be here or not missing if it wasn't for some of the immediate help that needed to happen prior to that. So let's just call it for what it is and let's keep it true there. Like to me, I think people are missing the point.
Exactly.
So here we are, and here's where it's going to wind up going when it comes to that too. So it's to me, I think we're we're in a shitty situation. And I'm one where I would love to throw shade at people just because, because we pull up receipts here and I just randomly just want to continue to just keep throwing darts at people who just really and truly are assholes. So I'm just gonna have y'all just take a listen to this instead.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So several families we've heard from are obviously upset because they say that those alerts didn't go out in time, and they also say that people could have been saved. What do you say to those families?
Well, I think everyone did an incredible job under the circumstances. This was, I guess Christie said, a 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000 years. And I just have admiration for the job that everybody did. There's just admiration. The only a bad person would ask a question like that, to be honest with you. I don't know who you are, but only a very evil person would ask a question.
So listen, she asked a question about what do you want to say to the people who lost their lives? And he's going to also say that he did a wonderful job, or they did a wonderful job, I should say. So he's going to completely just bypass her question about accountability when it comes to loss of life in a country or a state where one life that is lost due to any tragic situation should be terrified, and zero empathy given to the victims of these people who lost their lives due to this tragic event. It's terrible. Doesn't make any sense to me that he would literally then go in and attack her. I don't know why you would ask a question like that. She's doing her fucking job. That's what she's doing. At the end of the day, she has to hold you and others accountable for the things that you say and or do or don't do that we need answers for. And you're supposed to be the commander in chief, the mouthpiece of the United States. And this is how you respond when all she asked was accountability. And what do you say to the victims? Really, bruh? Are we going there? Is this what we doing? At the end of it all, how dare you? How dare anybody else? But this is what I mean when I say that people are collateral damage to his overall need. Because he's like, fuck, I feel like I'm going to get reamed for not even caring about these people because this fucked up my whole move and motivation to do something else. So I'm sorry, Mr. Trump, that these situations that happen in Texas is fucking up your overall plan, but we need you to be more empathetic. We need you to be more supportive. We need you to hold yourself and your team and your government accountable for the things that they do and don't do. How dare you? That makes you look like an idiot by attacking somebody, but that is his MO. He's done that all his goddamn life, and it elevated when he became president of the United States. Come on, man. Do better. What are you doing in a time in need where they need somebody to be, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna hold everybody accountable, and it starts with me. What's wrong with you? Oh, I know. He's not worried about us. He's not. He's worried about them. like the million and billionaires that he's talking to, and he's making money off of or with. That's all he cares about. Does he care about the people in Texas? It's collateral damage. He doesn't. That's why he doesn't give a shit about nobody else. It's there for people to see. This is not. This is not. This is. This is not something that has just happened overnight. This is a pattern. It happened before 2016, and it was elevated during 2016, 17, 18, 19. It got a pit stop in 2020 after Biden took over. But now it's resurrected again, where here we go. This is what we do. This is how we do it. And you know what? That should tell you enough. But you know what? His core base of people, the ones who's like loyal beyond belief, is really going to be like, oh, well, you know what? Hey, there is collateral damage. I'm sorry about all these people, but it is what it is. But you know what I can say to that? Can't say it, but I'll just give you this. And I'm just saying this in general because this doesn't make sense to me at the end of the day. And it's stupid. It doesn't make sense to me at all. So now you want to add on to this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It makes zero sense. It's and it's so frustrating because it's like at a time where you should be empathetic and saying, oh my gosh, the children, how can we continue to support? How can we make sure that doesn't happen again? How about funding NOAA? How about funding the National Weather Service? Y'all took funding away from the National Weather Service and NOAA. And you're wondering why we're having issues with the daggone what? I'm confused.
Don't try to play us. Like, I'm so serious. Like, to me, I just think it's the weirdest thing ever when it comes to like somebody who doesn't want us to see anything or anybody like do more or succeed or whatever the fuck. Like, to me, it's just the weirdest shit ever in the history of life because none of it makes sense to me at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't. Um, and it's really sad. But before I move on with something else that I want to bring up real quick, and Deny, I know you probably got something to say. I'm gonna just throw one more
Yeah, real quick.
little nugget in there real quick, Deny, before you do share. I just want to share something, just something random, and I just feel like we kind of have to just say it because a little Black history. Did you know the desire to escape slavery was once classified as a mental illness back in 1851? Black people were considered mentally ill by refusing to live in bondage. Saying that is to say this, because to me, I just think sometimes throwing little jewels out there, people tend to forget back in the day. Do your history if you don't think it's true. But I just think when it's all said and done, people literally are in a position where what we think right now is not normal compared to some of these other people who literally don't feel the same way or whatever the hell it is or something like that. But saying that is to say, if you think I'm mentally ill because I have an opinion about this or I want to share my thoughts with the world regarding what I feel, then there's something wrong with you because you refuse to open your door to have a conversation like this or to think about something outside of what you see and what you hear. Think beyond that. Like I don't understand why people was considered mentally ill back then because they wanted to be free, because they didn't want to live as slaves or they didn't want to live the way they were living. Like to me, I think it's crazy that we got to this point, but here we are. But I just wanted to put that out there because I think it's important that this is how the government and this is how some media um, places want us to be. They want us to think that what we think is mentally ill, but we're not. Just saying. Go ahead, Denai. I'm sorry.
The thing about it is, when it comes to cyclists specifically, is that do better. Just do better because Texas didn't help itself by denying the money or giving it to the sheriffs, which is even crazier. And like I said, my heart goes out to the kids that passed, and he was ever innocent that got caught up in this mess. But the Texas government needs to do better. The administration needs to do better. That's just it. Like, they need to do better. They can't just sit up here and act like it's not happening. Climate change is real. We have hurricane season coming up. We don't need to hear, oh, we didn't know that was going to happen when everyone's telling you what's happening and what are we doing.
We are in a very weird time, people, where I just think that we are starving for accountability. We are in need of clear support when it comes to a lot of different things as well. And I think the way we're going about it is just some of the weirdest shit ever. Um, and I just think that where we're at right now and what we do should be you know, held accountable to a lot of different things of how we live our lives and things like that. So I need people to really pay attention to that. So with that being said, I don't want to throw this as like a last little thing, but I definitely want people's opinions when it comes to certain things. But we definitely have to make sure that we discuss certain things about ICE and border control as well as we get ready to close this down because, to me, I always say at the end of the day, we need to hold people accountable for what they say and what they do. So let's just go here with someone's thoughts about like what we've actually witnessed thus far as well. So let's go ahead and start with this.
Has now suggested publicly that ICE agents, based on the totality of the circumstances, can detain someone briefly based on physical appearance. This is the full quote. People need to understand ICE officers and Border Patrol don't need probable cause to walk up to somebody, briefly detain them, and question them based on their physical appearance. Now, he does say based on the totality of the circumstances, including location, ownership of property, etc.
Now, as a black man myself, I over the years have gotten, and I'm not like some thin, skinny guy. So, some big black guy driving a car, I'm under suspicion about like, everything you can think of. So, let's go ahead and pull you out of the car and let's do a check on you to find out if you're really real. That's happened to me. And I want to say it's happened to me, I would probably say about 5 to 6 to 7 times in my lifetime. When I was younger, as I got older, it happens. Now, I've lived to tell about it because I didn't get beat down like Rodney King or I didn't do anything else to, add fuel to a fire or whatever. I didn't resist arrest or whatever, but I remember truly going to different places being profiled because I'm black, I'm big or muscular or whatever the hell, or basically I'm just black, that I fit a description. Now, ICE. Now I know this guy walked it back and he's like, well, it depends on what the situation is, then we could be able to look at it closely. But if you're going to lead with that, then you're going to start with that as well when you're going through some of the stuff that we are talking about right then and right there. So discrimination is real in our world, and ICE, because they need quotas, they're gonna look at everybody now, like everybody that's brown, all my brown people, be careful because they're gonna come from us blacks eventually because it's part of the Project 2025. They can't outright do that because it's gonna bring back old trauma from slavery, so we can't do that. So let's go fuck with the brown people real quick and figure out what's what or whatever. So I need y'all to be careful and I need y'all to be diligent about what y'all do and what y'all say. Do not resist any kind of arrest or do whatever it is they need to do because they will off you on sight. Like, and they don't have no remorse in regards to that. So I need y'all to be very, very careful about who you deal with, how you deal with, and all that stuff. So this is just my public announcement regarding this. I know Denai and I will talk about this more in depth, but I just wanted to say that as like not just a closing argument, but just a closing like representation of what it means to be in this place to try to make a living and things like that. So they're not just trying to round up, criminals or people who needs to go back. They are rounding up everybody who looks like someone. So I need y'all to just be really careful about what you say and what you do and do not resist arrest. I'm just saying.
So yes, now that I got to the part, okay. So this is just a public service announcement. Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
So you might want to stay the hell out of humble part. I'm just saying, like it's just not a good idea.
Facts. And I just want to just put that out there as a parting shot as we get ready to close down Nexxlegacy Live. I'm navigating through like using Zoom, coordinating, doing things like that for the first time. So if it looks odd or if I can't see any comments or whatever, I'll work through the little kinks or whatnot. I do have a live broadcast. It will be done through on my phone, so it won't be done through YouTube. So I could be able to see some of the comments live. Some of the ones that I do see, I see it like a 60-second delay or whatever the case may be. But we'll work through it all as we try to figure out what we figure out. But no, I totally appreciate just energy and just open-mindedness to having a conversation about where we're at and what we need to do or decide to do. But this world is on fire. Let's just be honest. This world is not great again, because it never was. And I just need y'all to, know that we're all living here just to be able to make a living, just so we can be able to support our families and ourselves and just be happy and at peace at the end of it all. So I need y'all to recognize and realize that, because if your neighbor doesn't have that kind of peace and is struggling, then you are not fully at peace. Everybody around you needs to be, even strangers. Just saying. So y'all need to do better and think about that more so than think about anything else that you think when it comes to certain things like that. So I just need some accountability, some of that stuff that pops off. So thank you everybody for not just tuning in and fucking with the legacy, but just continue on as we get ready to push this thing. And we'll come out the top rope even more when it comes to certain things like that or whatnot. So I appreciate the just everything. So just make sure that y'all just tune in, subscribe, hit the notifications. We'll be back. We'll do more. We'll be more. We'll make sure that we keep it a buck always, because I just want to make sure that I voice my opinion and things like that. So this is Charles Madison on behalf of Deny Azure. Make sure you hit up the websites nextlegacy.com as well as denyazure.com as well. And I think she's back to have something to say before we close down the door completely. So, if she's in here, then that's what's up. But oh yeah, there she is. So yeah, Denaya, what do you want to say as we close the door down on this?
Well, hey, I lasted 90% of the broadcast, so hey, I was like, what just
Yeah,
happened?
you
It's
did.
all good. It is all good, and now it's of course that's fire. But yeah, the biggest thing that I want to say is the fact of use your common sense. You saw what you saw. The Epstein files exist. I know the current occupant does not want you to does not want to hear that, but they do. We know they do. And but when it comes to ICE, be kind to people. Don't turn in your neighbors, please. That's not very nice. And if you have a business, there are organizations that you can reach out to protect your employees. I'm gonna just say that and let it go.
Perfect. And I won't leave again real quick without putting something out there that's game. It's time to unlearn the things you learn from wounded people. And if you don't know what that means is, no matter what's going on in my life and Denia's life and everybody else's life, and if everything is, copacetic and great and peaceful, that's what's up. Even in chaotic times, like we're living on fire right now, like we are as a country. Um, I don't want to learn from people who are wounded because they will give you some jaded advice. It's really up to you to be able to take the initiative to unlearn those things and to form your own opinions about certain things at the end of the day. This is not, I'm not taking you to school or anything like that. In order for us to do more, we have to do more with what our actions is going to dictate. And I can get all the game in the world from everybody, right? But it's going to be up to me to be able to piece together what I need to do and how I need to do it so we can all live peacefully when it's all said and done. So, on behalf of Deny Azure, I am Charles, and I'll hit you on the next go around on Nexxlegacy Live. Salute, and
Have
I,
an amazing day.
I
Bye.
ain't gonna say no more, because if I start talking shit again, it's gonna be a problem. So, the next.
That's That's for the next one. That's for the next one.
On to the next, exactly.
All right.
Peace out, y'all.